Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So it is a dual Dokkan Fest, right? Which means, of course, we have the Dragon Fist Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but we've also got Big Daddy Hirudegarn here. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at Hirudegarn. Now, I do have a lot of thoughts on Hirudegarn. I'm seeing a lot of people are thinking Hirudegarn is like, oh my god, he's like top 3 in the game or something like that. And, I mean, I do want to kind of, like, just see, his potential is certainly, like, borderline limitless. I mean, that's just how strong, not just dodge, but, guaranteed, 100% chance to dodge, is obviously obscenely strong. So, I'm not really super sure how good we can consider that this guy is going to be. Keep in mind that teams for him are certainly going to be a major concern. And, I mean, one other point to make when talking about a Hirudegarn character, right? I mean, I don't know how effective we could make it where, like, he can be so dominant, but, like, all of the teams, all of the setups we might run him on will be very, very trash. It's like, in principle, it sounds nice to have, you know, a team of some of these other older, like, villain characters, but I mean, I don't know how well it's actually going to work. Double Hirudegarn as well. Remember, he is a Big Bad Boss's character. And keep in mind that, I mean, Big Bad Bosses is just so far and away the strongest, greatest Link in the game. 25% attack and defense unconditional at Link level 10. I mean, very clearly the devs are, like, building these characters' kits with it in mind that this is active. And, I mean, a lot of the Big Bad Bosses characters, I'm just not very high on most of these characters in here, right? So it becomes a little bit tough with Hirudegarn in that aspect. And if we go double Hirudegarn into an event, we certainly have to keep in mind that, I mean, it's not super common to just have level 10 Link friends all over the place. Maybe if it's like a super big, like, you know, DOKKANFEST LR or something like that, sure. People don't really like to just sit there and Link level, which is fine. I mean, if I'm, you know, 4 attempts into a video with 2, you know, instant turn 1, like, literally instant deaths against Fusion Zamasu, sure, I could be frustrated by, you know, friends that aren't, you know, completely maxed out, but, I mean, we can't logically expect that this friends list is just gonna be filled up with rainbow Big Bad Bosses, Hirudegarn friends, so, I think in a lot of points, I might just jump to running Hirudegarn on Fusion Zamasu's team. Is probably what we're going to do, but we will see, we will see. Now, of course, this is the 55% video for our boy Hirudegarn right here, right? So, we'll go ahead and jump in with him looking like this. Link level 1 is how I do it, and we'll kind of see how effective he looks. I mean, this guy has a lot of mechanics. Judging by how Dragon Fist looked at 55%, it does feel to me like probably both of these characters are going to be 2 of the characters who really want dupes. I mean, they're predicated on dodging, and I think just getting a lot of that extra defense to be able to take some of these hits, you know, for less damage when not dodging will really help them. Obviously, against a big boss super attack, we're going to need to dodge, but even against some of the normals, I think it could help. So let's jump into an event with 55% Hirudegarn here. Alright guys, so this is kind of like the squad I'm going to try here. And this is kind of like exactly my point of, like, Hirudegarn is in kind of a tough spot. Because LR Janemba was a very fearsome character when he first came out in 2021. Tag Janemba was a very good character when he came out in 2020, right? And then it's like Hearts is 2022, Metal Cooler is 2022, Golden Frieza is 2022. So, we have one character on the team who was released this year. And it's only Hirudegarn, who just came out. Alright, so we have our boy Hirudegarn out right here. Like Dragon Fist, I would say that Hirudegarn is really quite basic. Both Dragon Fist and Hirudegarn are, again, like, pretty basic characters. That's why, like, it's like they're just very, like, powerful in what they do, I guess, sort of is kind of how I'm going to explain it, right? Okay, so Hirudegarn, one thing he does have is a really good link set. I actually like it quite a bit. I mean, it could have been slightly better if we would have got rid of that bullshit-ass Berserker link, which is this one right here. Terrible, horrible, awful link. I suppose he does share this with some Dragon Ball Super Brolys and some Dragon Ball Z Brolys have this, right? So, I mean, Hirudegarn does lead movie bosses. By the way, another point that I could scream at, we'll get back to his links, but why... But this is a problem for both Goku and Hirudegarn. I'm not singling out Hirudegarn here. I can't stand that 2 leader skills. Like, why, dude? Like, why would they do us like that? 2 leader skills. Especially a character like Hirudegarn, who is on really bad teams. Like, Hirudegarn is on some bullshit. Storied figures, legendary existence, right? Resurrected warriors. Like, why couldn't he have had another one of those tacked on to his leader skill? Storied figures, legendary existence, right? Would be good. All Dokkan Fest exclusive characters should have 3 leader skills moving forward. They really should. I think that's like a necessity moving forward, right? So getting back to his link set. Brutal Beatdown, Berserker, Big Bad Bosses, Revival, Nightmare, Fear and Faith, and Fierce Battle. Keep in mind, again, this is a Big Bad Bosses character. If this was Link level 10, we would have that active, but obviously we are not Link level 10. Remember, Janemba, I mean, just has this god-awful passive. People go crazy for Tech Janemba still, but, like, I mean, I don't... People are playing a different game than I am. Well, literally, most people are not even playing the goddamn game, like the actual game. Maybe that's the difference in Orb RNG, goddammit. But we'll be able to get the orbs for his support, but we're not going to get the damage reduction orbs as well. Janemba's orb restriction is just too strong. So Hirudegarn, we're at 210k defense right there. Alright, now let's hope Hirudegarn actually dodges this first hit. Let's hope that he does. It's a super by Cell, and he does not dodge it. Okay, so just going over Hirudegarn's passive. You know, as part of his intro, he gets 3 key, 100% attack and defense, high chance to crit for 5 turns. He gets 200% attack and defense. He gets 100% attack when attacking. He has a 70% chance to dodge. And then he gets an additional that has a 70% chance to be a super within the same turn after dodging an attack. So, unfortunately, if we'd have dodged that initial attack, we'd have gotten another additional, right? And remember that Hirudegarn, his super attack effect, he is stacking defense. Damn it, I forgot to turn the animations off. But Hirudegarn is stacking defense with his super attack effect, right? So it's like getting the dodge and then the additional super to build up that defense is going to be pretty important. And then in base form, Hirudegarn builds up 10% defense every time he dodges as well. Dude, Golden Frieza, I love how they did not care. They're like, we're making this long as hell. Like, they just did not care. I love that. I love that about his intro, by the way. Golden Frieza's. Now, Golden Frieza is one of, like, a very few movie bosses characters that I do really like, but, I mean, it's still a little iffy. By the way, Hirudegarn is so giant here. Like, I wasn't really paying attention before, but, like, look how massive he is. It's going to be exciting to have Cell back. Cell Bax is going to be doing the same thing, surely, right? Yeah, look at this. I mean, Hearts is struggling badly for Ki. Hearts is giving support, which is nice, though. This is the friend Hirudegarn. Do you have, like, link levels or equips? Some really strong equips. Now, Hirudegarn, what should you do for his hidden potential system? It's tough. I mean, I feel like you really, with Hirudegarn, could go any direction, right? Because let's say you want to, you know, go raw defensive equips to make his stacks more effective. Let's say you want to go additional to make his, you know, get more stacks in. Damn it, that's 70%. We failed. This is a hidden potential system right here. We got it. Nice. Yeah, because remember, one thing is, you know, when you have a built-in additional, you significantly raise your chance to get the hidden potential system additional, which we got right there, right? So even though that first additional we missed, that still, you know, allowed us a chance to proc the second super, which we did, his second additional. So again, you could go additional in the potential system to focus on, you know, stacking defense, raw defense. I think raw attack equips make a ton of sense with this guy because he's going to do so much damage. Crits is probably the one thing I would say the least because this guy has so much built-in crit anyway. I mean, for me, a lot of people will see dodge in a character's kit and say, oh, you don't need dodge. You've got it right there in the kit. I look at crit the same way. Oh, you got crit in your kit? Yeah, no need, right? It's right there, right? So definitely keep that in mind. I would probably recommend against crit. Obviously, dodge could be very good. In base, Hirudegarn, I think, potentially could take a lot of damage if he doesn't dodge. Now, if we were at Big Bad Bosses, you know, level 10, and we're getting the super attack stacks, I mean, this guy's defense, it raises fast as hell. Keep that in mind. This boy's defense is going to be churning fast, right? So really keep that in mind with Hirudegarn. Again, as he's link leveled, as he's, you know, rainbowed and stuff like that, like, these stats are going to be quite a bit. Is there anything else about his base form we need to talk about? I guess I haven't talked about his transformation condition yet. It is the same thing as Dragon Fist, which is turn 3, we could transform into, you know, complete, what is it, Kazentai Hirudegarn. On third turn, if our HP is 70% or less, or just from the 6th turn. And it is start of battle, too, on those conditions. It is not start of turn, so that's obviously really good as well. Alright, again, well, I mean, I guess, actually, hold on. Oh my god, hallelujah, look at this. We got Janemba's full passive, there we go. What is our defense? We're at 500k. This is no Big Bad Bosses, of course, so this is what I'm talking about. Look at this. He's at 500k without Big Bad Bosses. 25% defense right here. So, I mean, this is a character, I mean, to say he takes a significant, massive jump, this is also why villains just get me so frustrated, because it's like, you know, it's like villains can give you such high reward, but, like, you gotta dump, like, so you gotta link level them, right? Like, it's these are the characters that have to be link leveled. Like, if you're someone, you know, if you're conservative, dude, of course, this is another character, I'm gonna have terrible RNG with that 70%, man, maybe. But this is Big Bad Bosses characters are great characters to use link skill orbs and stuff like that on, to get Big Bad Bosses to level 10. I mean, obviously, you know, you look at a lot of these different links, you know, Brutal Beatdown, you're going to get a lot of extra damage, and Nightmare, you get some extra damage, Fierce Battle, you're going to get some extra damage. But the difference between Big Bad Bosses being link level 1 and link level 10, like, it's a completely different character, basically. Like, it's crazy. Alright, so this will be our last turn stuck in base. Cell has done essentially 0 damage to us, so we haven't been able to transform early. Once we transform into... damn it, okay. Yeah, that first dodge is important. See, I'm looking at this, and it's like multiple turns of us not hitting that dodge. It just makes me want to maximize my dodge chance and just spam more dodge on him. Okay, we dodged the super, though. That's what's most important. Yeah, I'm actually using them a little bit more. I want to just pump them both, Hirudegarn and Dragon Fist, with as much dodge as possible. Now, once we transform into perfect Hirudegarn, of course, we're going to have to talk about his abilities, and this is where I do think someone could push back and say, you don't need as much potential system dodge because of what he does in his transformed state. I do think that's very valid, because, I mean, the true strength of Hirudegarn is transformed with that 100% dodge, which is going to be really crazy. Alright, so let's go ahead and transform right here. Again, it's turn 6, so, you know, we basically, you know, at this point, like, we could just transform whenever we feel like it. Remember, he does stack, so that's why it's good that it's an active skill. Like, I mean, I almost cannot think of any situation ever, when you would not want to transform. I don't know. I guess against a boss that cancels dodge, right? Like, that's the only time you wouldn't want to transform. But he continues to stack defense and base. Once we transform, obviously, he no longer stacks. Alright, so now we have got Hirudegarn transformed out for us. I mean, we might as well go over what some of these abilities are real quick. So, Hirudegarn's super attack effect, he now only gets 50% attack. Certainly, I would like him to get defense here as well, but, I mean, if this guy is functioning as he should, he's not going to have a chance to get hit anyway. So, I mean, it's like, I'm not really going to cry about, you know, not enough defense right there. Now, okay, so he gets 3 key, 250% attack and defense. That's good. 150% attack when attacking. That's good. So he gets 100% attack and defense and a high chance to crit as the first attacker in the turn. So we really typically do want to run him in slot 1. I mean, this guy, Hirudegarn, obviously would synergize very well with a Scouter character because of the fact that he's going to have so much dodge and then eventually 100% chance to dodge. So it's like sometimes maybe we wouldn't put him in slot 1, but I mean, the dodge, the defensive aspect is way more important than anything, right? He has a built-in additional now with a 70% chance to be a super. He has a 70% chance to dodge. He gets an additional that has a high chance to be a super after dodging. So he could super 4 times at best. And then he gets a plus 10% chance to dodge and plus 10% chance to crit within the same turn with each attack dodged. I'm going to need some time to determine if that's like Yamcha's or not. I think it is, but I guess I'm not really too sure. And then finally, Hirudegarn, every 3 attacks dodged, in the next turn he has 100% dodging. Now we'll see like how this works. People are saying that whatchamacallit, that his guaranteed dodging does not loop, but I mean Hirudegarn just came out. Like it's like the like kind of like iffy private server shit. Like I don't know if that really is too what's the word I want to use? Trustworthy with stuff like that. So I want to see if it works that way. I would assume it doesn't infinitely loop because that just sounds too strong to me. Like what, you know, like it's like at what point ever could a boss do anything to him if he dodges? Like you again give him full hidden potential system dodge, and then you dodge your 3 attacks, and then he could just literally never get hit again. Like that doesn't even seem realistic. And I would imagine that the extra procs, the 10% chance to crit, 10% chance to dodge, is not just stacking, but it actually is a separate proc. I mean, dude, that's like it is nuts. Like he's like this is a strong kit on this guy. Regardless of how exactly any of these work, it's still super busted. But definitely, I mean, I suppose there's a slight downside maybe in that, like, look at this turn right here. This is how a boss could counter Hirudegarn, and this is how, like, you know, Hirudegarn's team being shitty factors in, right? Like, if we're going into these runs where we have these daily red zone limits, and it's like Hirudegarn is God, the god of everything, but, like, the rest of these fodder-ass characters, I mean, they will get blasted if too many attacks are focused on them like this, right? Like, this is not good. So, I mean, we'll see. So we have the 4 orbs for Janemba, so we can get his support right there, which would go ahead and trigger Hirudegarn's abilities. Alright, so we got this. Let's just go ahead and see what Hirudegarn looks like right here. Remember, we're not going to get a chance to dodge, which means we're going to miss out on one of his additionals. Still 8 million. It's like, dude, you can see, like, Rainbow Link level 10, like, these 8 millions become, like, 15. And then it's just like, he supers. That's good, yeah. And it's like, you know, a little bit of additional, you know, 5 to 10 additional in that range. There's a hidden potential system right there. You know, 5 to 10 additional in that range could be very, very valuable. The good thing about Hirudegarn is that he's an int character, so we're able to get higher dodge on him, which is just really good. Int characters are definitely my favorite, because obviously dodge is the best ability. So, alright, so there's transformed Hirudegarn. There wasn't even 3 attacks aimed at slot 1, so we didn't get a chance to even go into his guaranteed dodge, like, ability yet. But we'll see. Again, a lot of it is going to matter in how often they're attacking slot 1. I guess, to be fair, like, when we're going to jump into these fights like this and they attack once at the start, like, it's like, dude, like, if this is like Fusion Zamasu, like, we lose, right? Like, you get it. Like this turn... But physical fusions and monster instead, like, we lost, probably. Like, LR Janemba is, like... well, okay, there's a super attack right away. LR Janemba is... Like, I could say, like, he could be solid-ish now, but, I mean, what was really great about LR Janemba previously in the past was how tanky he was. And, I mean, he's just not anymore, right? Like LR Janemba is not, like, a super tank. Yeah, again, here's... bro, I probably will not go to the well for Fat Janemba too often, because, like, shit like this just pisses me off. Fat Janemba would be really interesting if he was a Rainbow Orb Changer. Like, I think that there's at least a reasonable chance, by the way, that Pikkon and Janemba will EZA during this celebration. Them being on the banners, to me, is like a major green flag. Like, oh, hold up. Are they actually going to EZA? I think we could see Dragon Fist Super Saiyan 3 EZA in the celebration, and then I think Pikkon and Fat Janemba could EZA as well. I'm so serious. I do think that they could. So, I mean, that would be... If they did that, that's really good. Because Pikkon buffs Dragon Fist and Janemba buffs Hirudegarn. That would be a great, timely EZA. It really would. So, I mean, let's hope. Because Janemba and Pikkon are usable. Like, it's even... Like, even with just a basic EZA... Because, remember, LR Kale and Caulifla and in LR Gohan are the two great examples of, like, just a completely, like, nothing EZA. But those are both LRs that don't get stat increases. Fat Janemba, just from the stat increase, good. Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, good. Good. Yeah, look at that, dude. That's pretty good. You guys know me, man. You know my raw, real emotions when I'm seeing that shit. Okay, we know how I'm feeling. All right, the high that I get, man. Like I'm, dude. Come on. Oh my god. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. By the way, like when we look at like, okay, what do villains need? Hirudegarn is the example. Like any negativity I have about Hirudegarn is mostly just tied to the characters around him, right? Not to Hirudegarn himself. Hirudegarn, to me, seems perfect besides his leader skill. The only, just looking at this kit, seeing him in action, the only thing I would want is just something added to his leader skill. I look at his kit, it looks tight to me. It does. I feel the same way about Dragon Fist, too. These characters are well designed. This is good. Yeah, Hirudegarn is looking strong to me. And this is 55%. This is Link level 1. This is 55% Link level 1. Just off of 55%, its Hirudegarn does seem, I mean, significantly better than Dragon Fist, right? Maybe I'm crazy, man. Like, we'll see. Again, we're gonna do the world tour. We're gonna fight Fusion Zamasu, all these tough fights. I think I probably will do like one of these like hour-and-a-half long showcases. I probably will just do one for Dragon Fist and Hirudegarn right away. Like, we'll do our natural world tour, but I'll probably just do one of those after we do like all the kind of like individual videos, just trying to get a lot of footage of the characters, seeing them on a lot of different teams, different setups and stuff like that. But I mean, Hirudegarn, I feel like his power is just leaping off of the screen. Maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like he is just exploding off the screen, right? He has to be. I mean, this is a nice setup for him where, you know, we just have supports dripping everywhere. Oh, I guess I could have... I grabbed that so I could hit this for Janemba, but both of those still got him as full passive. What are we looking like right here? 400k? Is this a turn where we had the guaranteed dodge? I think it is. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm pretty content anyway. This was 55% Hirudegarn. Dude, again, this is no equips. Link level 1. 55%. Like, am I crazy, or Hirudegarn at 55% is potentially strong enough to dominate these major bosses, right? I do think Dragon Fist is going to look a lot better as we get dupes in him, but wow. Again, Hirudegarn just looks quite a bit stronger. I have no idea, actually, on if Hirudegarn is guaranteed dodging or not. I guess we'll know. We could know real fast. I think we have a guaranteed dodge turn for Hirudegarn coming up right here. Oh, no, we don't. Okay, well, he's dead. Okay. Yeah, Hirudegarn, though, is very good. Very powerful. Again, this is if this is my Hirudegarn after Rainbow with the extra 30 hidden potential system dodge, he would have been fine right there. I got no problem with him. Yeah, Hirudegarn seems very strong. This is good. This is, again, this is exactly how to build villains, is something like this. Just a monstrous kit, right? Like, I feel the same way about Hirudegarn after using Fusion Zamasu, and that, assuredly, that will be the best setup, for the best place for Hirudegarn. We run him on Fusion Zamasu's team, even though Hirudegarn's power itself will drop a little bit, being on double 150%. I mean, this is going to be a significant asset to Fusion Zamasu. You know, so now we have the 2 Fusion Zamasus. We potentially have Int Goku Black. We have Hirudegarn. We have Piccolo Jr. Whew. Wow. Okay. Yeah. This guy is looking really good. Yeah, guys. So I'm feeling pretty good. This is exactly the type of villain releases we need. Something that just explodes like this. Damn, this is good. This is good. All right, so this right here, this is the Phantom Majin of Fear. Remember, Majin is demon, so the Phantom Demon of Fear. Hirudegarn. Movie bosses or Resurrected Warrior, category key 3 and 170% of stats, and then the extra 30% is for legendary existence and transformation boost. I'm going to tell you guys this, my only issue with this character's kit at all is this. I think that no Dokkan Fest exclusive character should have under 3 leader skills. None. Not a single Dokkan Fest character at all should be under 3 leader skills moving forward. There is, what, 89 categories or whatever it is? No leader skill under 3. None. That's my only problem. Super attack is the Phantom Demon Hammer, which stacks defense and does immense damage to the enemy. Passive skill is Calamitous Monster. He activates his intro animation and gets 3 key 100% stats, and then a high chance to crit for 5 turns from his first turn. He gets 200% attack and defense at the start of turn. He gets 100% attack when attacking, a 70% chance to dodge at the start of turn. But he gets an additional, has a 70% chance to be a super within the same turn after dodging. And then he gets 10% defense with every attack dodged up to a maximum of 50%. So just really good. He's got a lot of dodge and a lot of damage in here, which is good. He can build up some defense, you know, to get you ready for when you transform into perfect Hirudegarn, and it's very tough to get hit over there. So he has his active skill transformation, where he just transforms starting from the 3rd turn from the start of battle, if HP 70% or less, or the 6th turn from the start of battle. So I consider that a pretty good condition. Links are Brutal Beatdown, Berserker, Big Bad Bosses, Revival, Nightmare, Fear and Faith, Fierce Battle. Seems good. I mean, you know, get rid of Berserker for, I mean, any good villain Link, maybe Metamorphosis or something like that, and it's even better. But, I mean, his Link set to me looks good, right? Like, we got very common Links, right? A lot of the Janembas have Fear and Faith. A lot of villains, like, you know, Cooler and stuff like that have Brutal Beatdown. So, I mean, his Link set seems good, especially for movie bosses, right? 12 key multiplier is 150%, kind of like the typical number, right? So Hirudegarn is on... The thing about this is, he is on weak as hell categories, too, Hirudegarn. So, I mean, that's big. And, I mean, his kit, it's not... Nowhere in here is it saying, like, oh, if you've got 5 villains on the team, he's good or anything like that. So, both Dragon Fist and Hirudegarn are massive buffs to many weak categories, because they are beautifully designed, in which they are major, summonable, premium, give me your money characters that aren't bogged down with heavy restrictions. They just are what they are everywhere, which massively buffs weaker category teams like both of these guys have got. So movie bosses, I mean, massively needs help. I mean, Hirudegarn, I mean, he seemingly just comes in as the obvious best character in his category, right? Easily. Then Resurrected Warrior. I mean, is there a team where Hirudegarn is not going to be the best character on it? Probably not. Probably not. Then he's also on Legendary Existence. I mean, Legendary Existence, I guess, could be interesting, because it's like God Goku dodging, UI Goku dodging, UI Goku dodging, Hirudegarn dodging, right? Like, bring like a full dodging Legendary Existence team. That could be like a fun little thing, huh? Then he's also on Transformation Boost. I mean, this Transformation Boost is the villain team eventually. This is it. It's Transformation Boost. You know, we'll see if we'll get a leader. We get a villain leader for transformation. Like, could you imagine, dude, if Hirudegarn led transformation boost? Oh my god, dude. Oh, that would be crazy. Then he's also over here on the Time Traveler team. I suppose this is a real setup. People ask, like, you know, how would he fare on a Sword of Hope team? And I think the answer is well. Because Sword of Hope, just the same way I love about Dragonfist and Hirudegarn, no restrictions. Nothing bogging them down. Like, they're pretty much just like what they are everywhere, which is good. Sword of Hope is the same way. Like, he doesn't need 5 Hybrid Saiyans to be good, or he needs to be fighting a, you know, Zamasu enemy to be good. He just kind of is what he is. So that allows you a little bit more freedom to kind of mix and match, like Trunks and Hirudegarn on the Time Traveler team, for example. So, yes, I do think that would work. This could be a very viable setup, potentially, for fighting, like, Fusion Zamasu or something like that. Hirudegarn is also on Planetary Destruction, which is great. You know, this is a team that I would love to see built up as well. Maybe eventually we'll see if they would just listen to me and do 3 leader skills for every character. I mean, we'd be in a much better spot there. And then finally, Hirudegarn is on Storied Figures. I mean, obviously you take one glance at this and you can tell what type of category this is. So an option like Hirudegarn on this is very helpful, right? So there we go. There was all of Hirudegarn's categories. So again, remember, we could transform into Hirudegarn's, you know, Kazentai state, his perfect state, his perfect form, complete form, whatever we want to call it. If it's turn 3 and our HP is under 70%, or it is turn 6 from the start of battle. Super attack changes, passive changes. None of Hirudegarn's links change when he transforms, right? So his super attack becomes the Phantom Demon Flame Cannon, which greatly raises attack for 1 turn and does immense damage to the enemy. I do not mind that he doesn't get defense from a super attack effect because of the way his kit is designed. I don't consider that like a major flaw or like some huge issue or something like that, right? His passive skill, Complete Winged Form, is 3 key and 250% attack and defense. Then he gets 150% attack when attacking. He gets 100% attack and defense and a high chance to crit as the first attacker in the turn. He launches an additional that has a 70% chance to be a super attack. So that additional, which, you know, in base is just basically tied to the dodge, right? The additional is 70% chance to be a super. This one is just, just has base. And then he gets the 70% chance to dodge. And then now his additional from dodging within the same turn, it's now an additional that has a high chance, a 50% chance to be a super within the same turn after dodging an attack. So at his best, he could quad super. Then he gets an additional 10% chance to dodge and crit within the same turn with every attack dodged. And then he gets guaranteed dodging every 3 times he dodges in the fight, right? So presumably, it would be like you have a turn, he dodges 3 times, then he has guaranteed dodging, right? Then you have your guaranteed dodge turn, and then you go back into the third turn after, like 1 turn, you get the 3 dodges, build up the guaranteed dodge for next turn, and then after the guaranteed dodge turn is done, you will go back to sort of the start of the cycle, and then you get another 3 dodges, and the next turn will be guaranteed dodge and stuff like that. Although, it's very uncommon for fights to last that long, to where that's like a major thing, right? And then there we go. That is it. That is Hirudegarn. 150%, 12 keys, same link set and stuff like that. Yeah, very strong character. These are the types of villain releases we really need. We need these a little bit more often, but to be fair, I mean, we look at some of these recent villains. I mean, Easy 8 Android 16, 17, 18 are great, right? Easy 8 LR Goku Black is very, very good, right? You know, we have, you know, the DOKKANFEST LR Fusion Zamasu, who's great. Now we have this DOKKANFEST Hirudegarn, who's great. So we just have a lot of positivity to move forward for with villains, but, you know, they have to keep this up. Like, we need more good villains of this level to come out, right? Because we're going to get 50 Saiyans over the next 12 months. We know this. Saiyans will be fine, but like the villains have got to be hit. When you drop villains, you must hit them because there's not as many releases. At least with Hirudegarn and then the DOKKANFEST right before Infusion Zamasu, the villains, they are definitely 100% hits. So that's very, very good sign that Amatsu and them, they get the memo. Okay, like, obviously, Saiyans drive the sales, drive the health of the game. We're doing way more Saiyans. But once it's time to dip into one of these villains, you got to make them good.